So here's Sean Parker, a couple clips we're going to play, telling us what we already know. But see, Facebook users that are leftist, they think they're part of a winning team. They're part of this big liberal community, and that's how they reach their friends. And the whole thing is there to exploit them and to make them more depressed. And then Facebook runs ads for psychological services, Prozac-type drugs. Google also has similar deals where Google pops up and has psychological surveys meant to induct you in, just like they do in public schools, to being mentally ill, make you depressed, get you inserted into the psychiatric system, and then blow you away. Put them on the grid, let them play for a while, and then blow them away. A nice little computer doctor to suck everything out of you and take your hope and run your life and know everything about you and every piece of food you eat, you name it, your soul, and then let them blow you away. And Sean Parker, some of the early money in Facebook, the guy with Napster, all of it, he comes out and says, God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. Well, actually, we do know, Mr. Parker. It's lowering attention spans, lowering IQ, creating what I call screen sickness. It's amazing where they're now learning to only communicate through computers to other people. To get to their friends, they communicate through the computer that's watching and tracking them, but then it controls the interactions and becomes the friend itself because it's a human-machine interface. With two humans interfacing through a machine, it's like having sex with a robot. But you're talking to your boyfriend while you do it, so you start thinking the robot is your boyfriend. See, they want to make us the machines. They want to make us comply. But Zuckerberg, he's not going to wear the virtual reality goggles. He's going to pose that photo where he walks among his slaves, crouched over their computers wearing goggles. They're in his world now, and they see whatever he wants. Zuckerberg is a god. But you look at him, you just see a creepy psychopath. Okay. We got contacted by Facebook yesterday. I'm not going to get into it yet. But they think we're so stupid. It's so ridiculous. They didn't like what I was saying about old Zook yesterday, and they wanted to stop. I don't think so, Mr. Zookie. Mr. Robot Boy. Oh, Mr. Zuckerberg's a front man. You make no mistake about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and go to Mr. Parker. Sean Parker might want to try to keep his soul, or at least hedge his bets. Here it is.
That thought process was all about how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. And that means that we need to sort of give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post or whatever. And that's going to get you to contribute more content, and that's going to get you, more likes and comments. I mean, it's a social validation feedback loop that it's like it's exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like myself would come up with, because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. And I think that the inventors, creators, and it's me, it's Mark, it's the, Kevin Systrom at Instagram, it's all of these people, understood this consciously, and we did it anyway.
Much worse than that, of course. But remember now, you've got a decade or more of people totally bathed in this, and you wonder why they look like whacked out zombies and don't care how they look and are totally insane, because they got hit with a psychological warfare weapon. Now, above that, there's another guild of the total zombies above them who kind of get it, and go, we don't care, we've been screwed over, we like it, and we're going to screw you over. And then they try to mimic the bosses above them. And that's how psychopaths work. So they're not really genetic psychopaths, but they're trying to learn. They're mimicking. I can't believe our users trust us dumb effers. Because if you're going to hurt people, you might as well have disdain for them. And it's all about him. It's all about me. It's all about Zuckerberg. And he's smart like Google. He hadn't done the super censoring yet. Like Twitter is just all out. They don't get, they're going to destroy themselves. No. You want to be the last big group that doesn't get hit with antitrust stuff, and then you can censor everybody. You want to be the last, that's the whole plan, the last humanoid merging with the great machine. And then everything else on the planet is just, it'll take like maybe a week once you turn nanobots loose to chew everything up and use it for fuel for the big space warp jumps. Because obviously you got to conquer the universe once you've conquered Earth. I mean, that's the, and by the way, they all write that. The minute they merge with the machine, they're going to turn on the big city constructors they'll have soon. Oh, look, we built new city blocks in just a month. And it'll be in days, in weeks, in hours. As long as the raw material gets delivered up by the driverless cars and the big and the big city printing machine. And then once they merge the machine, they'll try to cut each other off, wipe the others out, and then go, launch operation. Everything. In days. Whole Earth chewed up, fed in, blast off. And incoming. AI, psychopath-driven consciousness coming into the universe. And I mean, that's obviously Satan's plan. He don't think he's tried this before, think a few times. So, and what's crazy is, I'd have dreams about this 20, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. And I thought, man, these would be great science fiction books. And then I'm like reading Kurzweil and reading all these guys, and they're going, this is what we're going to do. And you're like, oh my God, I jacked into the ether. These guys are like unbelievable. But don't you think God that created us would warn us of this 2,000 years ago on the Isle of Patmos, John the Revelator? World government, a mark in your hand to buy and sell, an image of the beast, seen everywhere worldwide, everyone watching him talk, television. You want some of what that guy's smoking? In Ezekiel, these big ships land, and the guys have got, it says blue helmets, crystal helmets on, and they walk over and they go to Ezekiel, they go, take this. And he takes it, falls over, and gets this whole data download. And whether you believe this or not, folks, the whole point is just that it's in Ezekiel. And it's the same thing with John on the Isle of Patmos. And he sees world government. He sees billions dead. He sees mark of the beast. And even though we've got that warning, will we listen to it? Because we're a free will universe. I didn't even get to the next clip here. I just cannot ever get to clips. Let's play Sean Parker. Did we play the first clip or the second clip? Yeah, you guys open your mic. You didn't talk. I'm going to play the second clip. I want to play the first clip. So we're going to go to break and play that clip. Just briefly, ladies and gentlemen, we have limited resources. We don't have the big company store, Amazon, and all their other garbage, and the the government giving them no bid contracts to run everything. We just have you funding us. But for every dollar we bring in, it defeats $1 million of their stolen money. So InfoWarsStore.com, free shipping. It's got to end today. Bunch of big specials on our top-selling products. Some of them are loss leaders, the prices they are, especially if you sign up for auto ship, additional 10% off. So take advantage of that, InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. But please commit to support the broadcast. Whatever you do, get some of the T-shirts and spread the word. Thank you all for your support. We'll be back. I mean, think about how amazing it is. Alex Jones here, back live. That the former head of Facebook says, we started it to exploit you and use your weaknesses and manipulate your dopamine levels. I mean, imagine if we came up with a program where when you post articles against the globalists or promote human liberty, little stars go, bing, good job, like you won a video game. Because that's what they make Facebook like. And then you got to like it. You got a friend. And it's like you're still in junior high trying to be cool. It's all about arrested development. You don't just think Sean Parker and Mark Zuckerberg and all these guys just suddenly came up with all this. Everything for 100 years, this is all declassified, has been about arresting development, keeping you like a teenager so you feel insecure and never grow up and go, I don't care about Hollywood. I don't care about politicians. I don't care about some guy acting cool. They want to keep you like insecure and nervous and real, I'll be whatever group you say. I'll be liberal. I'll be whatever. It's just like the Christian church has been manipulated to make people all upset and neurotic. It's the same thing. And they just take the grandkids of people and the children of people that were like super anal retentive Christians, you know, that thought going to the bathroom was a sin or whatever, literally. And just, it's the new political correctness. And you try to go to them and say, Facebook admits it's trying to keep you poor and stupid and trying to make you depressed. Just like Hillary said in the WikiLeaks. She said, these stupid baristas and liberal scum, I hate them. They're so pathetic. Just look at them. Ugh, crap. We need to keep them in the dark, keep them pathetic. What do? Well, our top professor says just expand culture war. And that's what you see. If you don't like Obamacare, you're in the KKK. But we rejected Hillary. I mean, look at the establishment thought they could run a witch in action, a witch in optics. And now they run fake polls against Trump constantly. It's the same BS over and over and over and over again. But remember, for people that still bought the Kool-Aid, for those of us that are awake, it gets more ridiculous. But for those under it, they're like, there's Nazis everywhere. They're killing us. Oh, my gosh, we're all dead. I mean, they are really, the stock market's up. Jobs are coming back. No, that's not it. Just stop, leave her alone. Because they have no power. They live vicariously. I see these news articles they write about me all the time. And they're like tattling on me to like make up stuff I didn't do or twist it and go, look, Jones did this. Someone sue him. Someone arrest him. Someone kill him. But they don't ever do it themselves. They always just cry like babies and go, ah, ah, and you want to laugh at them, and I do laugh at them. But it's not funny. They know psychology. They have created these people. And you can go to them and say, here's where they admit they created you. I'd like you to be free. Oh, shut up and stop showing off. Whatever, shut up. So here is another clip. Sean Parker, God only knows what is going to do to our children. Well, they already know what they've done. Disassociative, low IQs, unable to communicate. It's called autism. A lot of it's chemical, but a lot of it's also cultural. It's lack of communication. We are, well, you give babies the bad formula, their brains are a third smaller. They didn't get the love. They were sat in front of a television. They're just receivers. They're not transmitters. They're androids. They're pretty close to soulless. And they've got that mentally ill confidence, though. Defense mechanisms where they're just like, but if you try to get it there, then if you try to get them out of it, shut up, I know what I'm doing. I'll play video games all day and I'll repeat jokes I saw on television. And then when they're like, back to, and they're just getting them ready when the bioweapon gets released or the chemical weapons they already released the chemical weapons. It's just the binary weapons. So that nobody gets too freaked out, you know, when they beta test and 10% of your country gets killed, and then it's 80% next, and then they're going to kind of get on to, you know, the transmission lines. Then it'll be right to your head. Just say, they already have that. They'll be like, we did it. Here's the plan. Come accept total control and plug into the main system or you're dead. It's going to be just like Tron. I mean, like, here in the central system, childhood's in. You can have steak 5 times a day and do whatever you want, but your consciousness is plugged into this. I'm taking you over. Because you keep asking how the computer is going to become truly conscious in God. Well, it's called Satan. You're going to plug your ass into it. And then we're going to take your body, and we're going to burn it up, And we're going to shoot the ashes and the gas into the atmosphere. You see? And then pretend that you never had a soul. Because that's really the trick. Getting the humans from birth to try to fool the soul from birth, well, from the embryonic stage through birth, into the matrix to believe that the false system is creation, to then give your soul to it in an assembly line fashion. That's really what they're looking for. Oh, look at Zuckerberg. Oh, souls never tasted so good. But it's kind of like the cheesy Pirates of the Caribbean and the Curse of the Black Pearl. You can drink all the wine you want. You can drink all the blood you want. But you're never going to be human, Zucker. You're just a shade for something else to stick its big, ugly, stinky arm into our dimension and try to tear up as much pretty stuff as you can because you know you're ugly and you're stinky and you're a loser. You're a big pile of pus. And you know, we know, and you can't stand it. But I know the left, the globalists, the Satanists brag. They say, hey, Jones, they even said this in news articles. They go, Jones, you keep trying. We got your kids. We're going to get your guns. Yeah. But see, that's just them putting on a face of confidence. They don't really have any emotions. You have to remember that unless they're doing bad things. So it's all a facsimile, okay, because it's fake. Why is Kevin Spacey a good actor playing psychopaths? Because he is an actor. Everything is little affects he's learned to put on to you to try to lure you in, see? But that's all there is. And can you imagine just this dull thing that doesn't know art, literature, culture, God? It's like really cold and freaked out. And all it knows is it seems alive when it's got a 10-year-old bent over, crying for mommy. Like the only time, understand this, the only time they're alive is when they're hurting you. So you go, why does everything they do hurt us? Lower IQ, poisonous. Because they're fallen. They only resonate with death and ugliness. They're so happy when they got a toddler hanging up by their toes. Now, let's go ahead and go back to Mr. Parker. Almost, he's enjoying it. How we knew and we did it. He's like, it's kind of like whenever we saw Gruber on TV going, thank God Americans are so stupid. Thank God they have no attention span. They're so... And the other professors are going, so, sir, tell us how you lie. You're so sexy. Oh, they're just like, oh, they're fawning. Here it is.
And then they would say, no. I value my real life interactions. I value the moment. I value presence, and I value intimacy. And I would say, well, you're a conscientious objector. That's okay. You don't have to participate, but we'll get you eventually. and like, I don't know if I really understood the consequences of what I was saying. Because the unintended consequences of a network when it grows to 1 billion or 2 billion people, and it literally changes your relationship with society, with
cancer.
Each other, with it probably interferes with productivity in weird ways.
It kills you.
God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. Anxiety is a huge problem now. Of course,
I'm going to come back to the rest of this in the next segment. Oh, anxiety is a huge problem when they said by 2020 they'll have half the public on Prozac? I mean, maybe Parker's a good guy, but he's a smart guy. I mean, he obviously knows, right? But maybe that's why he was kicked out of the company he helped create, because he isn't fully committed to total human exterminism when they launch the nanotech revolution takeover that will chew the entire planet up within 2 days when they launch it. I didn't drop the ball, but I really should have led the broadcast today with former Facebook president admits they are targeting your weaknesses and trying to control your life, and they've done a great job disrupting society. But see, he's there wondering why they all did it. He was put in that position. He was then removed because he didn't like going along with it. I'm talking about Sean Parker. It's in all the white papers, Mr. Parker, if you don't know about him, and I'm sure you do. You're a smart guy. This is all a plan to make people disassociative, not have personalities, not have relationships, to atomize the population. It's in your own documents. Not just what you're saying now. I'm glad you're warning people, but why not bring up the Facebook documents that came out this year elaborating on what you're just confirming? But observation is true science. I don't need to hear what you say to know it's true. I can observe the results, and all of it is bad. Unless you're getting ready for people to be replaced by machines. Planned obsolescence has a new meaning when it comes to people and why the future doesn't need us. The decision, Mr. Parker, was made before you were born to carry out this operation. But I'm glad you're starting to get panicked like Elon Musk and others that have a soul, because if you have a trajectory that's meant to be anti-human, do you really trust the psychopaths that are running things to even deliver? They're going to take your billions. You're not going to get it. You're going to be killed. Once they've got their systems plugged in, which they're close to, things are going to move lightning speed. And, you know, I'm not afraid, because I've just got to get my relationship with God right. That's what really counts. But I know I'm right, because I'm going off what they said. They were writing this stuff 50 years ago. They're now saying it on TV. But that's why I'm so... People keep saying, Jones, how do you keep being proven right? How do you know this? Are you one of them? One of them? They only tried to hire me repeatedly because they buy everybody up. Most people that know what's going on join them. They think I'm a dumbass because I'm not a psychopath and don't want to feed on you and don't get off on how stupid people are. That's what's so frustrating to the left and all the globalists and the minions. Most of you are total minions of this, and you still think you're part of it, like you got a seat at the table because you want to belong, because you have arrested development. Let's play this clip. Here it is.
And then they would say, no. I value my real life interactions. I value the moment. I value presence, and I value intimacy. And I would say, well, you're a conscientious objector. That's okay. You don't have to participate, but, you know, we'll get you eventually. and like, I don't know if I really understood the consequences of what I was saying.
And this is Tigger Toys.
Because the unintended consequences of a network when it grows to 1 billion or 2 billion people, and it literally changes your relationship with society, with each other, with it probably interferes with productivity in weird ways. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. Anxiety is a huge problem now. Of course, anxiety was always a big problem in high school. Who didn't have anxiety in high school? But the surveys that have been going on for years are showing a huge rise in anxiety amongst high school kids and younger. And you have to wonder if there isn't some, if the thought process that went into building these applications, Facebook being the first.
We're going to come right back.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfowarsStore.com.